All right, on this lesson, we're going to be learning about compound inequalities. These are our objectives, so make sure you have them in your notes. And our vocabulary, beginning with intersection. It's the solution set of a compound inequality formed when "and" is the intersection of the individual solution sets. So in actuality, it's where both sets overlap. It's only the overlapping portion. The intersection of two sets is the overlapping part that is in both of the individual sets. For example, we're to solve and graph the solution. Notice we have an "and." So we're going to start by solving each one separately. X plus 4 is greater than 0. We subtract 4 from both sides. Now we've got 4x is greater than 0. Oh yes, and we graphed it. It's not or equal to, so it is just a parenthesis. It's -4 and greater than. And this we divide both sides by 4, so we're left with 0. X is greater than 0. So where do these two overlap? Well, they overlap from 0 to infinity, because the -4 to 0, it's not included in both of them. Now, the union of two sets is the solution set of a compound inequality formed when "or" is the union of the individual solution sets. So it's what both sets encompass. The union of two sets is the portion that is in either set. The portion is in at least one of the two sets, but could be in both. So we're going to combine what's in both. If it's covered by one or covered by the other, then it's going to be in the union. So what does that look like? Here we have "or." We know that's the union. So again, we're going to solve each one individually. We're going to distribute the 5, add 5 to both sides, and then we divide both sides by 5. So this first one is or equal to 0, and it's greater than. Let's solve the second one. We need to subtract 5 from both sides. Notice that we have got a -x. We're going to divide both sides by a negative number, so we have to reverse the inequality symbol. When we graph it, we're going to start at -6. It is not included, and it's greater than. So since it's or, it's going to start at -6 to infinity. Some compound inequalities that use "and" can be written in compact form. One side of each of the two inequalities has to be the same to write it in compact form. In other words, 0 is less than the same thing that is less than 8. This is compact form, where you've got two inequalities listed. It can only be used with "and." To solve the compound inequality, we're going to perform operations simultaneously to all three parts: the left, the middle, and the right. We're going to start by distributing that 4 across the parentheses. Now we're going to subtract 20 from every portion. Notice -20, -20, -20. Whatever you do to one, you have to do to all three sections. That's going to leave us with -20 is less than or equal to -4x, which is less than -12. We still are needing to solve for x, so we need to divide every section by a -4. Here we're dividing by -4, which means we've got to reverse that inequality symbol. And again, dividing this side by -4, we've got to reverse that inequality symbol. So remember that the sign direction changes when you divide by a number that is less than 0. Okay, very good. You're ready to begin practicing on your own.